Hi friends, this is Miss Muller. We're doing Purple Sort 9 this week. Our suffixes are ARY, ERY, and ORY, and we'll also have an oddball column. A lot of our sounds this week are going to sound like they're spelled the same. They're actually not. Let's look at our first column, ARY, imaginary. The suffix ARY refers to things that belong together or are connected or related in some way. So our first word is imaginary. Imaginary. Sometimes people can imagine something or see an imaginary thing. The next word I want you to find in this column is secretary. Secretary. Secretary usually reports to somebody and helps somebody out. Mrs. Rapoli and Mrs. Hall are secretaries in the front office. The next word I want you to find is library. Library. ARY. The next word I want you to find is military. Military. Go ahead and find the word ordinary. The next word I want you to find is necessary. That won't be necessary to do. Necessary. The next two words I want you to find are months out of the year. Can you find them? First, let's do February. And next, let's do January. Nice job. Our last one in this column is stationary. Now, you might have heard this word before, like if you're writing a letter, but stationary with an ARY ending, this means to not move. So you might have a stationary bike. It stays in one place, but your feet can bike. It's called a stationary bike. This type of stationary means not moving. You might stand in one place, you're stationary. Let's review these words together. Imaginary, say them with me. Secretary, library, military, ordinary, necessary, February, January, and stationary. Let's look at the next column, which is ERY. The first helper word I want you to find in this column is bravery. Bravery. And ERY indicates a collection of things. So, machinery, I want you to find that next. Machinery. The next one I want you to find is mystery. Go ahead and find the word scenery. It's usually a collection of items that create a scenery or a scape of some sort. The next one I want you to find is delivery. Delivery. Usually a collection of items that can be delivered. And grocery. We know grocery is a collection of items, usually at a grocery store or in your cart. Let's read these together. Bravery, machinery, mystery, scenery, delivery, and grocery. Our next column is ORY. Let's start with our helper word category. Category. ORY, this is a suffix that sometimes will mean a place for something. Let's keep sorting and we'll discuss that. The next word I want you to find is lavatory. A lavatory is a name for a bathroom. It's a place. The next word I want you to find is inventory. It's a place to write down all the things you have. Inventory, to take inventory. The next word I want you to find is dormitory. When you go to college and you sleep on campus in a room, it's called a dormitory. It's a room. The next word I want you to find is directory. Directory. It's a place for numbers. Phone numbers usually, sometimes addresses. The next word I want you to find here is victory. A victory. And the last word in this column is history. History. Let's read these words together. Category, lavatory, inventory, dormitory, directory, victory, and history. Now we have 2 words for our oddball column, and one is bolded. Let's bring that one up there. This is stationary. Do you notice how this is also stationary? Remember what this one means? Stationary with an ARY means not moving. Stationary with an ERY means like writing on paper. You have stationery. You can sometimes, stationery is fancy paper. These 2 are called homophones. They sound exactly alike, but they're spelled differently because they have different meanings. So those are called homophones. And they're oddballs because it could be spelled ARY, stationary. Doesn't really sound like ERY. And the next word that's an oddball is the word century. A century is 100 years. But it doesn't sound like century. It sounds like century. It could be ARY, it could be ERY. So they're oddballs because they sound like they could be a different one, but they're spelled with different letters, an E and a U. So our oddballs, say it with me, are stationary and century. Nice job today, friends.